Greetings, YouTube. Earlier this month, I received a private message from darkfiete, one of my subscribers, and he asked me 3 theological questions. The first being, do I believe in the Abrahamic God? How do I view the God of Abraham? And what is my experience with how other pagans view the God of Abraham? So, the first question, do I believe in the God of Abraham? Well, I don't worship the God of Abraham. I am a pagan. But I do believe that the God of Abraham exists. I pretty much believe that any God that has even a single worshiper exists. I view the gods that I don't worship very much the same way I view China. I've never been to China. I am very likely never to go to China. But I know China exists. I've encountered Chinese people. I've heard the Chinese language. I've got a Chinese dictionary on my shelf. But it isn't my country, and the laws and mores of China have no effect on me. And that's pretty much how I view other religions. They have no effect on me directly. They can have effects on me indirectly, as in a case of America, where there are many Christians that do whatever they can to make sure that their religious views are imposed upon the world around them through secular law, which I find to be ethically and morally bankrupt concept. But I still believe that the God of Abraham exists. Now, how do I view the God of Abraham? darkfiete asked me if I saw the God of Abraham in his earlier light, as was worshipped in the early stages of the Jewish faith, when he was very much the early nomad/fire god, or do I view him the way the Christians are supposed to view him, as a God of loving peace? Well, I think all that matters is the people who worship him. How do they see their God? And there are those that view him as the God of wrath and vengeance, and there are those that see him as the God of love and compassion. And there are those that see him as both. And I don't have a problem with anyone viewing him any way they wish, so long as they don't try to impose their view upon me. I don't really view him in either light. How he is presented to me, how his followers present him to me, is more important. And in America, where I live, he is not presented in a good light. In America, the face of Christianity I see is not positive. Now, I know that there are people out there who do worship the God of Abraham as the God of love and compassion, and I applaud your efforts. That is not the public face of Christianity I see in the world today, either in politics, the news, or my personal experiences. I'm sorry for that. If you would like that to become the face of Christianity in America, then you should do something. And you have a very tough row to hoe in that regard. And lastly, how have I experienced other pagans viewing the God of Abraham? Well, if you got 100 pagans together and asked them how they view the God of Abraham, you'd get 101 answers. Every single person is going to give you a different one. Many of them are not going to give you positive experiences, because being on the religious fringe, as a pagan is, by their very nature, we have not been shown the most pleasant face of the Christian faith. It is sometimes, often, almost always, discouraging. So I know people who incorporate Christianity into their pagan beliefs, who consider the Christian God, the God of Abraham, just to be another aspect of the divine, and they pay homage to him the same way they pay homage to any other number of gods. Whereas I may worship my goddess and Ta, I do still venerate other gods. Buddha, Ganesh, the spirits of the dead, the small gods of the world around me. I think I have, in many ways, have a very Chinese traditional religious view in that regard, which is interesting, because at the moment I'm reading a book on Chinese religion. I'll probably be reviewing it in the next week or so. So I hope that I have answered your question, darkfiete. It was an interesting question, or series of questions, and I had to think about it for a week or so before I got around to answering it. But I did finally get around to doing a reply for you. So I hope that you're happy with what I've done.